Hello, welcome to another video. First off, a bit of an apology for those who were expecting this to be an after-action report on the Top Mallow house game. Being honest, me and Alex basically ran out of time. However, I'm off work for the next 4 days, so we're going to get it done then. So hopefully that video will be up next Monday. So this video is really just a bit of a bench update. I've recently received a couple of Kickstarters that I backed a little while ago. One from Dish Dash Games for their Ultracombat modern rules and figures, and the other from Anthalonica Wargaming for their recent figures. So I'll cover those, quickly go over the 28mm 3D printed house that I was having apoplexy about, and also a recent pack of Empress German tank crew that I've just finished. So we'll head down to the bench and go through those. Right, so this is the 28mm 3D printed building that I talked about. It was probably the last bench update, where I wasn't that sort of happy with the print lines. It's finished now, and I'm not 100% pleased with it, but I think we'll probably do. I think we've got 3 or 4 of them, and I'm happy enough with it. Obviously, I added a garden on the back. The base is just MDF, obviously the building added on. This is some of the Rubicon picket fencing, and just did a little bit of green work. Pavement at the front, as I've said, is the blue craft foam. Removable. They're okay. I mean, ideally, as I've said, ideal scenario would be some of the Grand Manor Carrington buildings, but they're unavailable now, and if you can get them, they're just going for silly prices. So I'm probably quite happy with this, I think. I'd be really interested to know what people think. So shout out on the video. Give us your views, yay or nay. Right, next up are the latest Empress 20mm World War II German tank crew. I've just painted these recently. Lovely figures. Paul Hicks again. Cannot fault the sculpting. Beautiful. They are sculpted as army. I've painted them as Waffen-SS just to go with the other figures I've got. Done the first crouching guy with pea pattern camo pants on. The officer type figures got a black leather jacket on, and obviously winter autumn oak leaf trousers. Third guy, autumn oak leaf parka holding the MP40, and the last guy's got obviously black panzer jacket on, black side cap, oak leaf pattern pants. Like the idea with the braces and the belt holding the pants up. Really, really nice sculpts. Right, this was the first Kickstarter that I got recently. I actually got 2 turned up on the same day, which was quite unusual. Dish Dash Games Ultracombat Modern. It was a few years, I think probably 2, maybe 3 years ago now, when it was on Kickstarter. There was lots of issues with COVID about producing the figures, and basically for the Kickstarter, you got this rule system, and basically a full platoon of modern Russians and a full platoon of modern Americans in 28mm. I'm not going to go into loads of detail in relation to the rules. Dish Dash obviously specialise, commencing from sort of skirmish sangin and sort of quite high quality production values. The rule book's obviously a hardback book. full colour throughout. It's basically, in a nutshell, it's although it's a skirmish system, it's basically 3 systems in one. There's and basically the way it works is you have Ultracombat fire team, where the smallest unit's an individual soldier, Ultracombat squad, where the smallest unit's a fire team, and Ultracombat platoon, where the smallest unit's a squad. And those are the 3 systems basically. So those are the units you activate. Really nice production values. Nice book. I will do a review of the rules later on, but that would probably deserve sort of a video on its own. Right, figures wise, as I've said, they arrived. Full platoon of Americans, full platoon of Russians. I think probably the easiest way to do it is just show you one pack. So this is a I'll open this. This is a standard pack of I think these are Americans. Just so you can sort of see the figures. This guy here with a saw. They are 3D modelled, and I suppose you could call them ultra modern. So they've got all the latest equipment on. These US guys, he's just got a camelback on, but they're really, really nicely sculpted. The weapons are excellent. As I said, 28mm, obviously cast in metal, quite impressive. And I can't remember what I paid for the Kickstarter, but it was a bit of a steal. I think it was less than £100, and you're obviously getting a hardback rule book and 80 odd figures, so it was a bit of a no-brainer. There's quite a nice guy here that I saw, separate arm, but what he's actually doing, if you can see, he's actually changing the magazine. So he's got sort of the latest version of the M16, M4, whatever derivative it is. Separate arm, changing the mag, really nice. He's got a pistol on his hip, again, camelback on. Very nicely sculpted figures. Another guy with the grenade launcher combo. Very, very tidy. It's basically an NCO type. Separate arms, one's pointing, one's obviously holding the weapon. Very clean castings as well. And this last guy sort of advancing with the with his weapon. Very tidy. So that's a pack of the Americans. I'll just shove them back and I'll show you a pack of the modern Russians. When it came out, I think he based it around this quite a well-known book. I think it's War with Russia 2017. And it's basically around NATO and the Russian Federation coming into conflict, which was obviously, with what's happening now, it's sort of quite prophetic. Anyhow, so this is a pack of the modern Russians. These are slightly different in that they're wearing heavier equipment. The majority of them are armed with the AK-12, which is the sort of 5th generation Kalashnikov. Squad leader here doing a hand signal, a full backpack on. Obviously, very, very up-to-date equipment on them. Matching, I've put them next to sort of some Spec miniatures and also some of the Empress moderns, and they would match in fine. And dealing with the latest version of the Dragunov there. Again, really tidy, tidy sculpts. The guy here with the latest version of the PKM. So to be honest, I don't know if these are, I think the Kickstarters have all been delivered now. I don't know if they're, to be honest, if they're actually available to, probably a first port of call should be Dish Dash Games. I'll put a link, obviously, in the, on the video, and you can have a look. But nice, and as I say, the Kickstarter, when I worked out what you got, it was an absolute, absolute no-brainer backing it. I mean, you can see the quantity of figures there. There's also some markers for the game system. Really, really good value, and it was, as I've said, absolute no-brainer backing it. Right, and second Kickstarter was from Anthalonica Wargaming, who, when they formed a little while ago, they did armed police and gang members, stuff like that. This again was when they did a Kickstarter, and when I looked at what you got for the price, again it was around about, I think it was around about £100. It was just crazy. Not if you were interested in 20 and modern stuff, not to back it really. Upwards of 90 figures, 100 quid, so you couldn't really go wrong. All sort of modern stuff. This is a pack of French DIGN, which are the gendarmerie sort of counter-terrorist units. There's a pack of them. A pack of the police figures. They do armed British police officers. They also shoved in some quite unusual stuff for Royal Marines VBSS team, 6 figures, really nice. Israeli Yaman, which is a special counter-terrorist sort of special forces unit. All the figures appear to be really nice, quite accurate. Pack of PMCs, again, really nice. This pack, a future Royal Marine sniper team wearing the future uniform, which has been on some military websites that they're doing more on police. They did obviously the standard Kickstarter exclusives, which is one of them which I wanted to sort of show you so you can see the quality of the figures on civilians, all sorts. So this figure here, which I'll get out. There's a guy called Christian Craighead who's he was in the SAS, and he's sort of claim to fame. He's actually the guy who was in the news in Nairobi, who went in the shopping centre when some Islamist extremists took it over. Lots of photos of him online, basically with his gear on and sort of a face veil balaclava pulled up. So as one of the exclusives, they've sculpted him, and I'll try to get it. I'll try to get it in focus here. Really, really nice job the sculptor's done. He's in the figure's in the process of pulling the sort of face veil balaclava up over his face. Equipment as in the famous photographs, weapon as in the famous photographs, but nice sculpt, nice quality figures, and that applies to all of them. Out of interest, I'll put a link, obviously, to Anthalonica on the description, and I'll also put a link. In relation to Christian, who was sort of became known on Facebook as Obi-Wan Nairobi. There's a very, very interesting interview with him on a YouTube video that I'll put a link to, where he's interviewed by an American guy, and he basically describes his sort of military upbringing from when he joined junior para in the British Army through the Pathfinders and then eventually into the SAS. Definitely, if you're interested in modern combat, definitely worth watching, and I'll put a link to that on the video as well. Right, so that's where we are at the moment. As normal, if you've liked the video, please like it. If you haven't already subscribed, it's definitely worth subscribing. You get advance notification when I release the videos. Gives me a bit of incentive to keep producing them. And it's just easier for the notifications, really. Now you can do that by either subscribing directly from the channel page, or at the end of the video in the bottom right hand corner you'll see the button 20mm modern Empress British Infantryman pop up. You can click on that. As I've said, hopefully, fingers crossed, next video on Monday will be the AAR on the Top Mallow House game, and all things being well, that I think that it's not going to be a massive issue. We should be able to get that sorted. So once again, thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.